everyone, and thanks for tuning in to this episode of My Prescott Lifestyle. I'm your host, Steve Irwin, and with Kirsten Olson.
Hi.
And Kirsten, who we got on the big show?
Today I asked Josephine Dunn, who is the real estate agent over at Realty One, to come and talk to us about something very personal to her regarding fentanyl. So Josephine, what's your story?
Here we go. My story is I lost a 26-year-old daughter. Her name was Ashley Marie Dunn on May 23rd of 2021. She used half of a tablet that she believed was a M30 pill, and she was dead within, well, she had overdosed at that time. She was dead, overdosed within 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
She was in the bathroom on the commode in her house, and she had fallen between the commode and the bathroom. Her roommate did not find her for 33 minutes and did not call. Well, she had found her, but did not realize that Ashley wasn't breathing until 33 minutes later, and then contacted EMS.
Oh.
And EMS did revive her on scene with 4 doses of Narcan.
Wow.
And the, zappers, I'm not going to use the medical term, I don't need to, but it just, and they did bring her back to life, and they brought her to YRMC. And at 1:20 in the morning, my husband and I were awoken by the doctor in the ER to come because they didn't expect her to live. And so when we went there, they realized that she didn't have any brain activity. However, her son, my grandson Carson, who was 4 at the time, was living with us.
Okay.
And his birthday was the 25th of May.
Oh.
And we begged the hospital staff to keep her alive until after his birthday. So she was in ICU for about 3 days.
Okay.
We are very Christian, so we prayed and prayed over her, and the pastor came and laid hands on her, and it was evident that she wasn't going to survive. So Mitch and I actually had to make the absolute most difficult decision as a parent. No one should ever have to decide to discontinue life-supporting measures on
Right.
May 26th at 3:36 p.m.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a tough thing. Tough thing. However, my husband and I worked with PANT here in Prescott. They are absolutely awesome. I love Jared Whitley. He's amazing.
So that's the Prescott Area Narcotics Task Force.
Partners Against Narcotics.
Oh, partners, okay.
Yes, and they are amazing. And they want more families to get involved. Lots of times when you lose your child or family member, there's a huge stigma, and you don't want to admit, right? My child used drugs, my child is now dead. Most people that have a person on drugs in their family or a drug death, they're ashamed of it, and they don't want to talk about it because they're stigmatized as if it was a parental failure.
But that's not a parental failure.
It is not.
It is not.
And it's not a moral failure. I mean, I have 5 kids altogether, and one of these children decided that this was their type of lifestyle.
Right.
That has nothing to do with our parenting.
No.
It has to do with choices that children make,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So while we were in the ICU in that 3-day period, we contacted PANT. My husband and I bravely called them to the hospital. We gave them her telephone number, her cell phone, that documented where she purchased the drugs from.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yes, and who,
Okay.
and where.
Okay.
And PANT is amazing. PANT decided within 24 hours they had that dealer in custody.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Wow.
She came from Black Canyon City, from Glendale to Black Canyon City to deliver Ashley 4 tablets the night before at 8:30 something, we'll just say 8:30 p.m. And Ashley OD'd at about 11:15 p.m.
Oh wow.
So it's the direct connection. She
Correct.
bought it, drove back to Prescott, used it, fell over between
died.
it, and died. Mm-hmm. Or OD'd, and poisoned is what I call it. And then eventually she died because we discontinued life support. She could have stayed on machines, but she would have never recovered.
She was already
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we contacted PANT, we gave them the phone. They did something called like a straw buy. They pretended to be her with her phone. They went to the same location and got her. And they arrested her. And they put her in custody. And she bonded out. And then once she bonded out, I lost it. And so I had contacted Kwong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's our LD
LD1.
representative, LD1.
Mm-hmm.
And I called him at 6 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You have his cell number.
Yes, I did have his. I still do. I'm a big supporter of his. Anyway, I was crying. I was hysterical, blubbering that, she had been released from jail and she's going to run and whatever. And I told him the whole story because he didn't know yet. I told him all of it. 2 hours that man stayed on the phone with me.
Oh my gosh.
And he promised me that there was going to be a change. And so that directed my life to a place that I never thought it would be. I fight for what's right? But I never thought that once a month I speak in front of schools, police, MAT Force, the DEA. We travel, my husband and I travel.
Oh, so you go
state.
and do presentations?
Yes, about
Good.
the
That's like
dangers of fentanyl.
Like MAD, like Mothers Against
MAT,
Drug
yeah,
Crime.
like MAT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fentanyl, my husband and I did a documentary, which is on salemnow.com. It was for Charlie Kirk in Turning Point, USA.
Okay.
6 episodes about the border and fentanyl death and other parents that I've met. So that was something that we did. And then again, we speak at events, and Kwong and County Attorney Sheila Polk,
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
they drafted a bill, and it's House Bill 2021. It's also named after my daughter, Ashley. It's called the Ashley Dunn Act.
Oh.
And what is the Ashley Dunn Act?
I'm going to read from my notes because I didn't want to forget stuff.
Okay.
So it's a drug homicide bill.
Okay.
And what it does is if a person commits drug trafficking homicide, which means this, transferring a dangerous drug or narcotic, and that drug causes another person's death. Number 1. Or number 2, the transfer of the drug must be the contributing cause of death, and the death must not have resulted from a cause not connected to the defendant that's in custody.
Okay.
Currently, Arizona law does not prosecute for drug-induced homicide, where there's 23 states in our nation that do.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And Arizona's not one of them. And we are the fentanyl superhighway. So it comes across the border and it travels through Arizona and disperses itself. The DEA has all kinds of graphs of where it came from
Okay.
the cartels and stuff. And so this person that was in custody, she had absconded after she got out on bond.
Just like you thought she was going to.
Imagine. And so Mitch and I have become relatively good friends with multiple DEA agents in Arizona.
Okay.
And they have heard our story and seen our pleas and cries in front of thousands of people that we've spoken in front of. And if you know anything about my husband, he doesn't talk much.
No, you're kind of quiet yourself.
Yes. No, but Mitch really doesn't talk. But when this comes up and we have events, he's very passionate and powerful about it because we've lost someone very dear.
Yeah, you lost a child.
Yeah, and that's a very difficult thing to recover from. And she had her problems, but she did not choose to die.
No.
No.
She was
No.
poisoned. And so this girl, I mentioned the DEA because these 3 agents were like, we could prosecute her on a federal charge for
Oh my
homicide.
gosh.
Yes, and we will issue a federal warrant for her arrest.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, that's what happens when you scream loud enough, right?
Yeah.
When you cry enough, blubber enough,
Talk enough.
talk enough. And these agents were amazing. They issued a federal warrant with the U.S. Marshal Service. And then PANT, Jared, I love him. He's like, Josie, I will get her. I will get her. I promise you I will get her.
So they executed.
So what happened is she robbed somebody. She robbed a breast pump. Here's a funny story. She stole it. Not only is she's still selling fentanyl and killing other people
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
down in Maricopa County and up here.
Oh my gosh.
She stole a breast pump off of somebody's front porch and got caught on Ring camera. And then she posts it on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace to sell. It was like a
Oh my
$600 breast pump
Wow.
to pump breast milk.
I can't even fathom.
So Jared, he's so amazing. He pretended to be a woman that wanted to buy breast
Let's see what that looked like undercover.
Yeah, sure.
No, they had a woman. They had
Oh,
an undercover
okay.
officer, pretending to be pregnant, wanting to buy this breast pump. And she met them at a dollar store on 27th Avenue in Northern
Oh my gosh.
with another drug person in the car and drugs in the car,
Of
fentanyl.
wow.
course.
Fentanyl, methamphetamine, and marijuana. Marijuana's legal, and I really don't want to express my opinion
No.
about marijuana, but they had marijuana, they had all kinds of paraphernalia. She had about 75 pills on her,
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
which means 75 deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a serial killer.
Thank you. Yes. She's a
Yeah.
poisoner and a serial killer.
Well,
Yeah,
and it's
she knew
3
that.
deaths. It's
Yeah.
classified as a serial killer.
Yeah.
And so in that parking lot, SWAT was there, the U.S. Marshals were there,
Oh,
Prescott
nice.
Police, Phoenix Police. There was 7 officers that took her down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Took her into custody on June 16th of this year. So she had absconded for over a year.
Oh my gosh.
And she was caught on a federal warrant. She's sitting in Camp Verde right now, and every court hearing she gets to see me
Because you
Oh.
know.
because I will go. And I
Yeah.
call her a murderer to the judge.
So your daughter's law.
Yes. My daughter's, I tell you all that because she sold the drugs. But this law isn't just about sale, okay? Because people that use drugs will trade their bodies for drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
My daughter wasn't one that did that, at least not that I know of.
Right.
But there are people in this
Right.
world,
They do it.
they do it, and they end up dead. And those people deserve justice too.
Yeah.
So this law was drafted for the transfer. So even if I give you a pill,
And
and
I
you don't,
die.
and I die, and you die,
Yeah.
then I need to be prosecuted. That's in there because these drug dealers are sitting outside methadone clinics
Right.
and giving
Oh
it to
my
them for
gosh.
free to get them hooked.
Yeah, to get them hooked so they can get that, they can charge them later.
That's right. So they are
How
giving.
do you know this?
I'm drug court probation officer for 14 years.
Oh,
So they're
didn't know that.
outside of methadone clinics.
Right.
They're outside of rehabs, and they're like, "Hey,
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
try this," right? So those people will be prosecuted for murder, for drug homicide, because even if you gave it to, even if I give this to you for free
Right.
and you die,
You're still
I'm responsible.
Yeah.
It's similar to a DUI,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You get behind the wheel of a car because you've been drinking and you kill someone, you are being prosecuted.
Correct.
And that's what this is. And so, and this also provides for, I'm not sure if you guys know about children and the deaths of children. In Prescott Valley, we had 2 14-year-olds last year that died from fentanyl.
Yeah.
And there was a big scare because they were making it look like Halloween candy.
Yes, that is
Like
true. It's
sweet
called
and sour, sweet and tart.
Skittles.
Sweet tarts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Skittles, they look like Skittles. There's now a new drug that you guys probably don't know about, and it's called fentanyl that looks like, it's called confetti. So it's speckled with all different colors,
Mhm.
and
I've
it's
seen
a
that on
fentanyl
Facebook.
tablet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I've seen it
Yeah.
on Facebook.
So
And it's really attractive to kids.
They don't
They think it's candy.
they think it's candy. And pills, let's face it, pills are not something people are afraid of. When I was growing up, it was like heroin. You do heroin? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, now it's like, oh, you need a pill? You know, people just transfer pills all the time. They have pill parties. They're called Skittle parties,
Right.
right? Where you just put your hand in a bowl, pick a pill, and take the pill.
Okay, apparently I live a really sheltered life.
No, I didn't know all this until recently. This
Don't
is
know
all
any of
new.
this. I'm like,
I've
huh.
gotten quite of an education.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, about drugs and what kids are doing. Even in high school, there's like, they steal their parents' pills out of the medicine. Thyroid medicine.
I knew that.
Yeah, because we would tell sellers, that's the first thing you do. We talk about is taking your prescription drugs.
And locking them up.
Because people will actually go to an open house to try to search for them. and
Steal
see-
drugs. That's one of the first things I tell my sellers is lock up your medicine or take it with you.
Well, and I know a lot of our seniors have,
Pretty strong narcotics.
they have some good drugs
Oh, yeah.
that they never take.
Yeah.
That they just stock up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've had surgery before and I'm like, okay, you know, I wasn't feeling good. They're like, oh, we have Oxycontin. You want that? And I'm like, no, I'm good.
So,
I'm good.
so can you pinpoint how she started down that trail?
My daughter?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it started with marijuana. That's why I'm very much against marijuana.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
started when she was 14. We caught her with pot.
Uh-huh.
And then at
That led to something else. That led to
At
something else.
16, she moved out of the house because we are Christian and we have rules, and I'm going to search you when you walk in the door.
Yeah.
I'm going to search your pockets. I'm going to search your friends. If you want your friends to come over, you're not bringing drugs on the
These are
property.
the rules.
Right. So I'm the mom that's going to dump out your purse.
Mm.
I'm the mom that's going to go through your phone. I pay for your phone. I'm going through your phone.
Right.
And that, I mean, I'm kind of tough. when it
Not
comes to
that
my
we were that
kids.
way, but I did take the doors off my son's
Oh
bedroom.
yeah, she didn't have a door. I'm not the only parent that took a door. Good job.
No, there's a lot of you. I've heard of that one.
Yeah, door comes off.
Door
Phone
comes
gets
off.
taken away. No internet privileges. I changed the password. You can't get on the internet. I mean, there was a lot of things that we tried. But at 16, she got in her car. She drove to San Diego.
Oh, wow.
Yep, she drove to San Diego, and then she started using heroin in San Diego.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then she overdosed at 17. We went and got her, put her in rehab. She was good for about 1.5 years. Fell off the wagon, was on methadone.
Yeah.
The methadone guy outside the methadone clinic.
Oh, honey.
Yeah, and then at 19, she went to jail, and she got out of jail, and she was changing her life. She got pregnant with her son, changed her life. Her son changed her life until she married the father of her son, who has a history of selling drugs and using drugs.
Oh,
So both of them together now,
right.
that's their lifestyle.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so they smoked pot. I mean, her toxicology report had more marijuana than the medical examiner had ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
She had not stopped smoking pot for like 5 years straight, every day. All day, every day. And it's not the same pot of our generation, okay? The
No.
THC amount is insane.
Right.
It's changed, right? The marijuana that you can buy today is completely different than the
Once
marijuana
again-
from my high school. I didn't smoke either.
Yeah, I
don't
don't know.
But it's very different according to the DEA.
Well, that's what they say. It's not your dad's pot.
It's not your dad's pot, no. And so she'd been smoked. So in her autopsy, there was marijuana, there was the fentanyl. There was enough fentanyl in half a tablet to kill 2.5 people plus her.
Oh my gosh.
wow.
Yes, because if you know anything about fentanyl, it's 2 little grains. Like imagine putting salt on your food.
Mhm.
2 of those little dots can kill
Okay.
you. Just 2. And each tablet is formulated like a chocolate chip cookie. So when you make chocolate chip cookies, this one could have 5
Right.
chocolate chips. This one could have 10. I
Mm.
want the one that has 10, but
Not in fentanyl.
not in fentanyl because more than 2 grains will kill you. The half a pill that was used, because they found the other half, PANT did, and the
Mm.
police, and 3 other tablets, because she bought 4 for $40. In that half a tablet, there was enough to kill her, plus 2.5 more people. That's how many grains. So 8, 9 grains, 10 grains, however, 2.5, 2 grains is 2, 4, 6, 8. But sometimes it takes 3 grains. It just
Right.
depends.
Right.
But 2.5 people plus her could have done from just that half.
So this law, I know you've been a big proponent of this.
Oh yes, and so we spoke in front of Congress in Arizona at the state capitol,
Uh-huh.
and we testified to the importance of this law. It's since been redrafted, and drug trafficking homicide should be, according to the people that are fighting, including me and my husband, it should be a class 1 felony,
Mm-hmm.
punishable by a minimum of 10 years in the Department of Corrections. Minimum, separate from the trafficking charge. It's like a murder charge, but it's specific to the drug use.
But there's no charge for it now.
No, there is no charge for it now.
Just the trafficking portion.
Just the trafficking portion. And trafficking and sales, you get a year. Sometimes you get
Yeah.
probation.
Sometimes you don't go to jail.
Sometimes you don't go to jail.
Right.
This person, she has been convicted 16 times for drug charges.
Mm.
And she's still walking the street killing people's children. So, this particular law requires that person to be charged and convicted for the charges of trafficking, as well as homicide if someone dies.
But those are state charges, not federal.
Those are going to be Arizona state charges. Now, in our case, because this law has not yet been passed, she will be convicted at some point. We go back to court January 9th. She will be convicted of drug trafficking charges. Once that's over, the DEA will then charge her with drug-induced homicide or negligent homicide. There's different names for it.
Okay.
But she will be federally charged. The reason she can't be charged in Arizona for like negligent homicide is because Ashley had marijuana in her system.
Oh.
So nobody dies from marijuana. But the medical examiner cannot say it truly was 2.5 grams or milligrams of fentanyl that killed your daughter, when we know that that could have killed 2.5 more people, right?
Right.
But you just do the math.
Right.
But for legal reasons, he can't do that. So at this time, she won't be prosecuted. The thing about this is it's 10 years plus a presumptive term. That's the minimum that they need to serve.
Oh my gosh.
With no probation or parole. It's solid. 10 years.
So when is this going to go into effect?
I'm hoping, when we testified last year, it didn't pass because of one Republican congressman. His name is Neil Carter, and I emailed him every day, 4 or 5 times a day, and he didn't even have the kindness to return my email. So I put him on blast on everything.
Okay.
He's a loser. But sorry. It's because of him it's not in effect right now. But as far as I'm concerned, 10 years is the minimum, 16 years is the presumptive and maximum of 25 years if someone dies. That, we need to think about children. If it's a minor,
Oh my God.
that
Well,
person needs to get 25 years.
There's like babies that have
That
died.
very recently.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That have died because they got a hold of their parents' fentanyl.
There's a 10-month-old in San Francisco. I don't know if you've seen it within the last week.
Yeah.
He was at the park with his nanny. He was picking up stuff, crawling around. Baby OD'd in the park. 10-month-old.
Oh, gosh.
10-month-old. The baby survived, but 10 months old.
That's so wrong.
It is very wrong. In Camp Verde, 16-month-old picked up a tablet from a nightstand, had it in his mouth. The mother, the drug-using mother, recognized that the child was blue and couldn't breathe, and she Narcaned her baby. Called 911.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that use fentanyl, they actually have Narcan. They know the potential.
Well, you get it with your prescription. They send you, like the VA sends me drugs, and they include a Narcan inhaler.
But now, fentanyl's free. First of all, everyone needs to know that. It is absolutely free. You do not need a prescription. There is a standing order for I'm sorry, I said fentanyl.
Yeah,
Narcan. Narcan is free.
Okay.
You can walk into any pharmacy in the state of Arizona, no questions asked,
Yeah.
I need Narcan.
Yeah.
And they give it to you. So if you're a drug user
Or your parents.
or a parent,
Yeah.
you should have that on
Because a
hand.
lot of first responders are carrying it now.
I have it in my car, I have it in my purse.
Well, I know my husband used to carry it on the truck all the time.
Yeah.
But you got grandbabies and you got children too.
And we don't use the drugs, although I'm prescribed it.
Right.
But if I do have it, it's locked away.
But the Narcan's easy to get to just
We
in case.
keep it on the desktop.
Wow.
Well, this 16-month-old in Camp Verde, the mother tried to save her baby's life with the Narcan. Paramedics came, they Narcan that baby 2 more times without realizing the tablet was under the baby's tongue.
Oh my gosh.
And so the baby did die.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and that mother will be prosecuted.
Yeah.
Because it has to do with the child and negligence of your child and child abuse and all that.
Well, it's just like leaving a loaded gun where a toddler can pick it up.
So when we're talking about homicide for children, that's the biggest thing about this. And then also, if there's a poly drug use or poly substances found on the toxicology report, in Arizona, they can't be prosecuted. So the trafficker can't, because they could have 1 beer and a tablet,
Right.
and we can't prosecute, because the beer could have killed you. That's the mentality in Arizona right now, and we're fighting to get that changed.
So when will this go back before Congress?
First week of January, Kwong not only is on the Judiciary Committee, but now he's the chair.
So is he one of the sponsors?
He is one of the sponsors. He's going to drop that bill in January a second
nice.
time.
Okay, so as are people watching, because we're trying to make them more aware of how dangerous this really is, what can they do to help?
What you can do to help me is
Yes.
log on to azleg.gov and give a thumbs up to House Bill 2021, otherwise known as the Ashley Dunn Act. And the more people that do that and recognize the need for prosecution for drug traffickers and drug trafficking that result in death. It's gonna stop potential sales,
Right.
because here's the deal. They buy it for 80 cents a tablet
Oh my gosh.
and they sell it for 10. So there's
This is
not
wrong.
that big of a profit.
No.
But to them there is. If they sell 100 tablets a day.
Yeah.
Right? There are people that use fentanyl as their drug of choice. Here's the sickest thing. They're using 40 to 60 tablets a day.
Oh my gosh.
Addicts. And
Oh.
it's not their fault, but 40 to 60 tablets a day at $10 a tablet.
Yeah.
That drug dealer's making how much money? Come on, Kirsten, you can do the math.
I
Well,
can't do the math. That's too.
I seen one report a couple of weeks ago where it said the amount of trucks coming across the border, the southern border, that only 1 in 9 are inspected.
1 in 9 are inspected, correct.
And so you talk about a highway, a drug highway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if the drug traffickers know that they're not going to be inspected, they'll load up a tractor trailer.
And you know what? I think I brought it. Let me see. Did I bring it? Because it's like a little prop. No, it's my other jacket. So, you know those little Ziploc bags? They're like a snack bag.
Yes.
It's that big.
Yeah.
1,000 tablets can fit in that bag.
Oh, wow.
So picture 1,000 deaths. That baggie is called a boat. And Snapchat is being sued right now because kids today, don't know if you guys know this, on Snapchat, they can request tablets, a Xanax, a fake Xanax. They're fake. Okay, they're counterfeit pills. Xanax, Adderall, morphine, hydromorphone, hydrocodone, oxycodone. That's what they think they're buying, but they're pill pressed to look like that drug. And it can be delivered right now. I can get on Snapchat right now and have fentanyl delivered to lawyer's title.
Don't do that.
I will not, because I'm not using.
Please don't do that.
But that's
Please.
what they do. And
Yeah.
so Snapchat is being sued. WhatsApp or
WhatsApp.
they're being sued. There are multiple parents. I'm very good friends with Wendy Plunk. She lost her 17-year-old son, and she's suing them. And she's as tenacious as me. She is not going to let it go.
So you've met a lot of parents that have lost children.
Yes, I actually have an entire tribe of people, because you don't really get it, right?
Right.
If you're not a parent that has to stop life support, you don't get it. If you're not a grandparent that has to tell your 5-year-old grandchild that their mom's dead,
Yeah.
if that's not something that's easy to do. And all of these parents, we're all in the same boat. We don't want to be part of that club,
But you are.
but we are. And when we get together, our voices are very, very loud, because we're not going to allow it. We're not going to pretend like fentanyl's not a problem. Fentanyl is a huge problem, and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
You watch the news?
Yeah.
How come we had a COVID ticker? There's 500 COVID deaths today, but we don't have a fentanyl ticker. Do you know that
That's a good point.
every 11 minutes, a person dies from fentanyl in this nation?
Oh my gosh.
Every 11 minutes. 5 people in the state of Arizona will die today.
Oh my gosh.
5. Just today. Every day. Minimum. 5. That's not an average. That's the minimum.
So as we kind of wind down a little bit, what was the website you told people to go to if they want to support you?
They're going to support a law that's called House Bill 2021. They need to go to azleg.gov. It's the legislature for our state.
Okay.
We're also working nationally, but nationally there are other laws that the DEA can use. Arizona absolutely has to stop the deaths, and the only way we can do that is to stop the traffickers.
Yeah.
Right.
At the same time, though, I don't want you guys to think that I'm just so hostile about changing the law. I'm very much interested in educating, right?
Well,
We
you were
need
doing
education.
talks, yeah.
Yeah, we need education. You didn't know there was 5 people that are going to die in Arizona today.
No.
Right.
Did I tell you that? And you're like,
That's a lot. Because I'm thinking, they were talking about the deaths and the pool drownings down in the valley, and that's been increased, which I'm like, okay, we've had so many new residents come in. They don't actually consider it with their kids. If you lived here 10 years or longer, you usually are very concerned. But 5, and I'm thinking at 365 days a year, I'm like, that's a lot. And they're not adults. They're,
No, some of them are children, some of them are babies.
yeah.
Some of them are addicts, but you know what? Even if it's an addict, that addict has a mom.
Right.
That addict
Right.
has a dad.
Yeah.
That addict might have children.
As family.
That's someone's family. And
Yeah.
they deserve justice too. Because they did not wake up and say, I'm going to take this pill and die today.
Yeah.
They're not suicidal. And maybe some of them are, I don't know. But
On the general, they're not.
in the general, they need justice. And this law allows for, if you kill a child, you're going away for 25 years. Minimum.
I don't think that's a bad law.
No. Under 18, you 14-year-olds, an infant,
No.
those people, they've lost their whole life.
Yeah.
Right.
If you've been convicted of a drug felony prior to this death and this arrest, you're going away for a long time. And so there's different, judges have the ability to determine how many years, but at least now, that dealer that's going to make $10, they're going to think about driving from Glendale
To do, yeah.
to Black Canyon City to make $40 to kill my kid.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for being on our show today, Josephine.
thank you for having me. I'm sorry I almost cried, but I
No,
didn't
you
cry
did
as much
good.
as I
You did
expected.
good. You
I didn't
did
cry
good.
as much as I expected. And I really want people to just go to azleg.gov and just give it a thumbs up. Just for me.
I can
Please.
do that.
You
And
can do
I
that.
think the more people talk about it, the more education happens, and I think that'll ultimately have an impact.
Yeah, and we just need to stop the stigma. We need to work on getting rehabilitation services, educating schools and children.
And
Matt
parents.
Force is, and
And parents.
parents. Matt Force is amazing.
Yeah.
What we did learn on the canine unit is that if you have a child and you think you've come across fentanyl, don't touch it, call
Yeah.
them, they will
Because
come out.
it'll absorb through your skin.
Yeah,
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 you can
they'll
touch
come
it.
out and they'll take care of it. And I thought, yeah, because if you're a parent and you come across it,
Any pill. It could look like a vitamin.
yeah,
Right.
It could look like a friggin' Tylenol. There was
Yeah.
some Ohio had that they looked like Tylenol.
Mm.
I don't know if you guys know, you can buy a pill press on Amazon and make your own fentanyl in your garage. That's what they're doing. Amazon sells fentanyl presses. So you take the powder, you mix it with a filler, you put it in there. It looks like a Xanax.
Oh, wow.
It looks like an Adderall.
Okay.
It looks like a Tylenol. So no pills. You see a pill on the floor, don't touch it. Because you don't know, you could die from touching it. If you use the bathroom, never flush. Isn't that gross?
You
Okay,
don't,
that's,
you don't even.
that's gross, right? But
Yeah.
you gotta use the bathroom, don't touch anything. Go in like this, get your pants down, do what you gotta do, put your pants back up, and get out.
Yeah.
Because they are using, in the Circle K here on Curly, a man went in, bought a pill in the parking lot, went in, chopped it up on the back of the toilet, snorted it up, and he died right there in the Circle K. Right here on Curly.
Oh, wow.
So the next patron to go into the bathroom, to touch the back of that toilet because they're gonna flush, they could die just by touching the toilet. And I'm not trying to scare you. This is real.
I usually put my purse on the back of the toilet
No.
because I don't want it on the floor. And now you're telling me that, okay.
It could be on your purse.
All right, we do
First of all,
we
don't
have to
use
do
public.
wrap things up though here.
Don't use
Yeah.
public toilets, and if you do, don't touch anything. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so azleg.gov.
Yes, House Bill 2021.
And that's Ashley Dunn's bill.
Act. Yep, the Ashley Dunn Act.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We love bringing you this content. Have a great day.
Thanks. Bye.